So finally, after the long wait, we are starting with the data structure and algorithms batch, that is DSA lab. We have been waiting for long, and I think officially we are starting from today. So I hope you all did the basic quiz and assignment that I shared last week, because that is very much required just to check where do you stand as of today before we start DSA, because DSA is going to be a very advanced course. Of course, we will be covering everything from basic, right? We will learn how to write a basic code, and we will progress over writing big data structure and algorithm codes. But before that, it is very much required that you guys know basics of Python, because a lot of time, it's not like for a fresher who is starting coding, right? Like today only, right? I mean, of course he will understand in the batch, but he will take more time, right? So if you have a good basic Python foundation, and if you have covered the course that I created earlier, even 50%, you will be in a very sweet spot to start this particular course. Okay, so without wasting much time, I will speak about the content of this particular video and what all will be covering in overall batch so far. Okay, so this is going to be an introduction video. Also, we will discuss few concepts as well in this video. So watch the video till the end, and we will discuss how we are going to proceed in this batch, how I am ensuring that you actually learn through it, because in market there are too many courses, too many things out there. Okay, I am not claiming or competing with anyone, to be honest. My sole goal is that if you 70 people have shown trust in data science to enroll for this batch, I want that each one of you learn something when this batch finishes, right? I'm not saying that each one of you will become master, will become pro in programming. I'm not claiming any such thing, but provided if you follow the methods that I tell you, I am really very, very sure I can give in written that you will be like way ahead than what you are today. Okay, and you will be very, very much ready for the practical interviews of Python, especially for data engineer, data scientist, data analyst roles. Okay, so now I will move forward with the course introduction, what all we are going to cover in today's video, and various things I will list down. So in this video, we are going to discuss three major things. The first thing is, what is DSA? What is data structure and algorithms? Why is it required, in the sense that what exactly it solves, what is the purpose of DSA, right? This is very important to know, because a lot of you might say, I know coding, why this is a special term known as DSA, right? It's simple, just say Python coding, why you are mentioning as DSA. Okay, so I will tell you how DSA is different from your regular coding. Okay, DSA versus regular coding. So this we will be speaking about in the first part of the video. In the second part, we'll be doing that, we'll be discussing that why is DSA required. Okay, now we know that what is DSA, but why DSA? I mean, I have never heard for a data analyst interview, for a data science process, that they need someone with a good DSA skill. But so why am I preparing for this, right? We need to know these answers very much in depth, because why we are doing something, unless we are very sure about it, there is no point of doing that thing. Okay, yes, we know DSA is important for interviews, but what exactly in DSA is required for interviews, right? So that section we will cover in the second part. Okay, and in the third part, we'll be doing how to effectively do this course, right? So how this course will help you in that, and what all you need to do, and what all I will be doing, how this course is structured, those things we'll be speaking about in the third video. So these are the three important things in this particular video, which we'll be touching in next half an hour. So do understand each of the concept very much in detail, right? So as I mentioned, it is very important to know what I'm going to do and why I'm going to do before I'm going to do anything. Okay, so let us start with our first topic, that is, what is DSA. So first, let us discuss what is DSA, that is data structure and algorithms. Okay, now to discuss this, I will not walk you through some like those boring theoretical concepts. Let's do a very similar, very, I will say, intuitive and fun activity here. So what I'm going to do, we know there is a we know Netflix, right? Netflix is a repository of, I don't even know, like 50,000 plus movies, or even more than that, I don't know, right? So assume that Netflix is a, it has a list of movies. Okay, so Netflix is equal to, let's say, movie 1, 2, 3 up to 50,000. Okay. Now I want to search a movie. For example, I want to open Netflix and I want to search a movie. Let's say the movie name is, for example, Race. It's a famous Bollywood movie from 2010. So now there are we'll be following two approaches. First of all, like how do you search for any movie in Netflix? You go to a search bar and you just pop it up. You search, you put it there and you get the movie. But we will not be doing that. We'll be doing two things. First of all, we will search the movie, okay, in this whole Netflix website without search bar. Okay, we'll do it without search bar. Okay, and the second thing we will do with search bar. Okay, so we'll try to understand how things are different from doing search bar different. So we'll discuss like why I'm doing this activity. I will tell you, and for each of the activity I have my stopwatch. Okay, so let's do this activity. First of all, let me start my stopwatch. So my target, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to browse through Netflix, search the movie Race. It's as I mentioned, Bollywood movie, and I will keep a timer that how long is it going to find me that movie without typing it. Okay, so let's start the stopwatch here. Now we have started this stopwatch. Now I am in the Netflix. Okay, now I have to search this. Like there are so many movies. So how do I search it, right? I mean, what I can do, let's say top 10 movies in US today. Okay, that's not something. So let's look in the action and adventure because it is one of those movie. That's something I know. So let's go. I'll look at movies one by one. Okay, do I see Race here? No, I do not see here. I do not see here as well. I do not see here as well. I don't see. Still now, no luck, no luck, no luck. Okay, so I haven't found. But now let's say again, if I go below comedy, it is not a comedy movie. So I will not search into this. So now let's say top searches. No, I'm not able to find. So what can I do next is, let's say search in movies. I maybe I can filter something, but yeah, I'm not allowed to do that. So what I will do, I will still, let's explore Hindi movies and TV. Okay, let's see that. Do I see anything in any Race in this? No, I'm not able to find any movie known as Race, right? Because it's not a recent movie as well, so you won't find in the recent list as well. So what I will have to do, I'll have to search entirely. I mean, to be honest, I'm not able to find, like without any filter, without anything. I'm not, like, without clicking at any of these buttons, I'm not able to do that technically. I mean, it will take me a lot of time. It's been already 1 minute 43 seconds and I am not able to find that movie. Okay, so what should I do? So this was my first. So now I will stop my watch. Okay, so I spent 1 minute 52 seconds, right? And even then I was not able to find the movie. Why? Because it was somewhere. I chose this movie because this is not a recent movie, right? And it is something. I don't know where it is lying in this whole list of movies. So it's very difficult me. Like even if I have to search, let's say for example, Netflix has 50,000 movies. I'll have to go search one by one, one by one, one by one, and I'll have to search till the last movie, right? Till I actually find that movie. So this is a very tedious process, correct? Now let's do one thing. Now let's reset the timer. Now what we'll do, we will go and search the movie. So I'll go to the search bar here. I will type Race, okay, and let's see what comes. So if I see Race, no, this is not the one. If I see Race, yes, this is the movie that I was looking for. Okay, so now let's stop the stopwatch. How much time did it take? 19 seconds. Actually, it took less than 19 seconds. If I was not speaking, if I were just only searching, it would have taken me like hardly 5 seconds. So 19 seconds here and proper search, and 60 plus, like approximately 100 seconds without search, without a positive result. Okay, I don't know, it could have taken me so long, right? For example, so let me clear this board. So what I'm trying to say is that without search bar, okay, if I'm exploring 50,000 movies, okay, 50,000 for, I'm assuming right now that Netflix only has 50,000 movies, it would have taken me approximately these many seconds, right? Because if, let's say even if I'm checking 10 movies per second, if I'm scrolling through 10 movies per second, it will take me 5,000 seconds to find. I'll be lucky if I find like the movie in middle of somewhere, but it will take me max up to 5,000 seconds. Okay, and with search bar it took me 5 seconds. So this is what data structure and algorithms is. Data structure and algorithms is doing these tasks, doing all this is purely an application of DSA in the backend. So what is happening in the backend, when you put a search bar, right, you create a binary list. You create a binary list in the backend, okay, and that's how you are able binary list starting with race, and you are able to rank the movies which have race there, right, and you are able to, we saw it was the second movie in that list, in that particular list. Okay, so this is a simply DSA concept here. So again, now coming to this is DSA, right, where you have lot of operations, things that you have to do in your daily life, right, which is related to technology. And for every process can be very, very time consuming. DSA is the method that is used to solve any problem in the most efficient way. So if someone asks you what is DSA, okay, so DSA is the most efficient way to code anything, most efficient, finding the most efficient way of coding. Okay, so this is what exactly is. Now there are multiple data structures, algorithms. We will speak about them like when we move ahead in the classes. But first of all, we need to understand how is DSA helping us. Okay, so DSA is this process when you have lot of data, lot of things at your backend. How do you effectively streamline your operation so that your time is minimized? So there are two parameters in DSA. One is time complexity and other is space complexity. I will speak about these two. Time complexity means how long is it going to do that particular search, and space complexity is mean how much storage is required. Okay, and in modern era when everything is shifting to cloud, right, when you are paying for anything that you store on cloud, your time complexity and space complexity becomes most important, because for every search, for every iteration, you have to pay money. Correct? So companies want to minimize that. Let's say, for example, you are building any AI model, okay, and that also requires DSA. So I will explain you one basic AI model through just logical concept only, okay, that how DSA is used there. So for example, let us say you have to create a chatbot. For example, let's say this is a chatbot, okay. So let's say this is a chatbot, and here user asks any question, okay, and one basic, so this is a AI. So what if anyone asks you what how to build an AI solution for this, that whenever user asks any question, we have to answer it. Okay, so what you do, you, for example, let's say user has asked, I have to query a database, and I have a database of, for example, 10,000 rows with 50 columns. Give me top 10 rows. Okay, for example, someone is asking this. Now what you can do, you can entirely give all this to an AI model, or basically called LLM model, and ask LLM model, please, user has given me this question, this is the data set, can you please solve me and give me the answer, and you just provide the answer to the candidate. So what you're doing, you're taking the user's question, you're passing it to the LLM, and you are giving the answer to the user. So technically you are not doing everything. Everything is doing, the AI part is LLM is doing, correct? And this involves lot of time, lot of space, right? So as an AI engineer, what is your job? That you have to reduce the LLM task. For example, in this task, LLM was doing 100% work, human was doing 0%. Okay. And what you have to do as an AI engineer, you have to increase the human work up to 80% at least, and you have to reduce your dependency on AI models so that the space for example, the LLM calling, the API calling is reduced, right? And that's how your cost is reduced. So if you don't understand this example, just try to visualize this point of view only, that we have to find the most effective way so that my time is reduced, okay, and my storage is minimized. That's what DSA is, okay, for any coding example. So I hope this particular explanation is clear to you. We will explore this more once we start learning various kind of algorithms. Now, to address this, there are multiple algorithms, as I mentioned. So I will just name a few. I'm not going to explain any algorithm as of now. Okay, so we have proper sessions dedicated to them. So for example, let's say there's a linear search, right? What we did with Netflix right now was a linear search. Okay, then there is two-pointer algorithm. Okay, and after this there is binary search. Then there is, after binary search, you will find greedy algorithm. Okay, then comes the most effective way of coding, that is called dynamic programming. Okay, then comes hash tables and all that, like tree algorithms like DFS, depth first search, breadth first search. Okay, these kind of algorithms. And similarly there are like more miscellaneous activities we will check. And there will be like the data structure that we'll be dealing with are mainly your array, like for there'll be arrays, okay, there'll be lists, dictionary, tuple, tuple and sets, okay, and then your this linked list, okay, then there will be your hash maps. Okay, so these will be the major ones. Like there are a lot of things. I mean, don't worry right now. I'm just telling you these are the top major topics which actually reduce your time complexity, space complexity. We will discuss everything in future, but this was just a brief uh, introduction that what is data structure and algorithms. Data structure and algorithm is the most efficient way of doing any task so that your time is minimized and your space is minimized. So here is a another explanation that why DSA is required, right? So if you see, this is a problem statement there where you have to find the first non-repeating character in a string. So you have a string, for example, AABBCCDD, okay, and you need to return the first non-repeating string. So if you see, A is 1, A is repeating, so A will not be there. B is repeating, C is not repeating, right? So C should be the answer. For example, let's say there was E, then also your answer should be C, because C is the first non-repeating character. Okay, now to solve this, there are multiple methods. The first is, of course, the brute force method. So brute force, we'll discuss all these. I'm not going technical in these codes. I'm just explaining you that there are multiple methods to do anything. And DSA is finding the most optimal way to solve a particular question, right? So for example, brute force, you are declaring some variables, right? And you are writing some multiple levels of loops, not loops, for statement, sorry, yeah, it's a for loop only. So you're writing multiple levels of loops and you are iterating those kind of things you're doing. Okay, then there is a hash map. See the line of code, for example, here it was these line of codes. Here you just wrote everything in a, for example, 4 line of code only using a hash map. Okay, and then you can use order dictionary, like here you use something else, and there is a 2-pointer sliding window function. Everything is giving you the same answer, but the point is which particular method is useful in time complexity. So in interviews, what happened that they in general who don't know DSA, right, in depth, so everyone will solve using brute force because that's what intuitive to mind. Okay, but interviewer is smart. They are going to ask you, can you reduce the time complexity? This method is calling too many variables, can we reduce it? And for that particular for those particular scenarios, you need to have a solid understanding of these particular methods, which all right, and you should have enough hands-on practice. That's why I'm DSA saying, in DSA it's less about me teaching you, it's more about you doing things, you exploring things. Of course, I'll be teaching you concepts, but the more the practice you do, more ready you will get, right? This is not like some EDA or some Tableau, some Power BI, where once you see things, okay, you will remember for life. It's not going to happen. Okay, it requires an extensive practice, which we'll be doing for sure. That's why you have enrolled in this course. Okay, so now we will move forward with the discussion that why DSA is required. Okay, the first reason you yourself saw that in interviews it is extensively asked that you have to tell me various approaches. Okay, but what are the other major reasons why DSA is required? Okay, so we will discuss those like in few seconds from now. So now let us discuss why DSA is required. Okay, so we discussed what it is. Of course, we know that it reduces the time the first reason we all know. Okay, the first reason, okay, it is asked in interviews. Okay, and because it reduces time complexity and it reduces space complexity, right? Because it is the most efficient way of coding. This is something we all know, and that's why it's asked in interviews. But the main reason is not this. Let me be very honest with you. Main reason is not this. Main reason is how the technology is advancing and how with the new skill, how the competition is rising in this field. Okay, and how inefficient coders are coming. So I'll be speaking few lines right now, and like few of you might not agree with me on this, but don't take it personally. This is based on my experience, which I'm sharing, right? So what I have seen in my career, like especially, I mean, if I say where I'm working right now, or even like where I was working earlier, a lot of people come nowadays, to be honest. If you see any YouTube video, if you see any Instagram ad or anything, people claim that, okay, do this project 1, project 2, project 3, right? A lot of things people claim, okay, do this, add this in your resume, that in your resume. Just let us try to look from an I'm not saying that follow my advice. Okay, just let's look it rationally from an interviewer perspective. Let us say you are an interviewer. Okay, you have to hire someone in your company. Now you know that in market, like there are so many edtech influencers, edtech channels. Like we ourselves also are edtech channel, right? Everyone is claiming that okay, do my course, follow my projects. Okay, everyone is following this, saying that. Okay, now second thing is the evolution of AI. Okay, I'll tell you what exactly I mean here. So what used to happen earlier, when a person, for example, if I speak about 2018 or 19, right, a person with a basic who has a basic resume, okay, he has 2 to 3 decent projects, and who knows basic coding, he'll be a top candidate to get selected. But nowadays the trend is changing. That's what I have observed, that first of all, everyone's go to LinkedIn or go anywhere, right? Everyone's resume is top notch these days. Okay, you just cannot differentiate by looking at resume that, oh my god, this person has done so many things. Why is resume not getting selected, right? So the first point is the resumes, in my personal opinion, they used to have a lot of weightage, but they are at times overrated. That's what I know you might disagree with me here, but I'm telling you from if I have to hire someone, and that's what I have seen. Overrated in the sense that anyone can write anything. For example, let's go to ChatGPT. Okay, I open a ChatGPT and I say that give me top 3 next level AI projects that I can add in my resume, write in detail, and don't give me basic projects. Give me something that can make me stand out. Let's say I write this. Okay, write good line and give me a code to understand this. Okay, someone has written this. For example, let's say I query this on ChatGPT. Let's see what comes. Okay, so let's say this project aims to automate the extraction of critical information from complex financial documents, like something like this come. Okay, so this has given me. Now what I will do, I'll take this project. Okay, I'll copy the keywords and I'll put in my resume, and now I have the code as well. I will run this code and I will see what is happening. How this code, I will study how this code is functioning, and I'll put it in the backend. Okay, And now technically no one, and I will write down that okay, in my company I did a project which aimed at extracting relevant information from financial documents, where I did computer vision, blah 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 blah, deep learning, finance, machine learning, and all that. Okay, so I have written all this. Now point is, as an interviewer, I cannot be sure if this candidate is real or if that candidate is fake, to be honest. Okay. So how, as a company, I'm going to decide that, okay, this candidate really possesses the skill? There comes, so there needs to be something that checks your credibility as a coder or as an analyst, or how fast your brain works, right? That's why, if you example, if you're giving the interviews of some consulting, like consulting firms, for example, if I talk about McKinsey, okay, if I talk about let's say Bain and Company, EXL, or maybe some other companies, what they do before moving to any round, the first is they do a case study round. Okay, what is case study? You are given, okay, fine, you have done your resume. So for example, if out of 10 earlier resumes weightage was 9, in my opinion nowadays, out of 10 resume weights only max to max 2. Okay, in my opinion. Now next comes your analytical skills. Okay, and how they are judged? They are judged through case studies. If you I have given a lot of interviews, to be honest, in my life, in last 3 years, and even before that, and I have faced this thing everywhere. Case study will be something that you have not done. Okay, for example, they will say, okay, let's assume you have opened a new food restaurant. You are seeing a decline in your sales over last 6 months. So for example, you have a restaurant, okay, and its sale was fixed from 2020 to 2023, but in last 6 months, okay, the revenue has declined. So tell me, what could be the reason? How will you investigate it? Now, if you cannot answer this question, to be honest, I mean, this is one of those questions. If you cannot answer this question, right, forget that you'll get selected. Doesn't matter whatever it's written in your resume. Okay, so this is the very first important part, that your case study. So what is tested here? In this particular scenario, they will test your general analytical ability. Is this person able to think? Okay, so that is what very very important. So I will rate analytical, to be honest, 4 out of 10. Okay, and once you have cleared this thing, then comes your for example, coding. Okay, for example, of course, right, if your role involves coding, okay, then the remaining 4 goes to coding. Okay, resume, projects, everything comes under these two, to be honest. So whatever your past information, what you are claiming that I have done, I don't think it weighs more than 20%. What actually happens is that how good you code in the live scenario. In the live scenario, as in, for example, they will give you hacker rank link, or they will give you, for example, neat code link or lead code link, whatever they will give you. Okay, and you will have to code in real time only. And if you cannot produce that output, you will not be selected. No doubt, no doubt. How like what any influencer is saying online, like, I don't want to name anyone, but people are really spilling out bullshit from their mouth nowadays, right? And those are the people who don't know how recruitment is actually going on. Okay, so that's why I'm not taking anyone's name. I'm just telling you, if you really want to make a crack in this, in data analytics, data engineering, data science, or even, for example, let's say in software engineering, your these two skills need to be at top notch, and there's nothing, I mean, there's nothing that surpass it. Okay, so as I mentioned, with the advancement of AI, the expectation of coding from people is increasing, because companies just don't know who is fake, who is true. So this is the biggest reason why you're seeing, and like earlier there used to not, like, for data science role, earlier there was never, I have never seen like DSA coding test in 2018-19. Nowadays, every company you go, every company have their first round as lead code practice question. Okay, and for other roles as well. I mean, this is not just based on my experience. This is based on others' experience as well, that I'm speaking. And this is the reason, before starting AI/ML in this particular batch, I'm bringing this particular course to you. So So I think these two reasons are more than enough that first of all, interviewer looking for interviews, these are asked, and second, I gave you the reason why this is asked. Okay, now comes the third and the last reason, which is also very important, is that, for example, let's say while working, okay, you are stuck at a problem and you just use you a lot of time you are not going to build ML models from scratch in company in most of the cases, unless you are doing some POC stuff. That is a different, like POC means proof of concept, means you are building something from scratch, right? Unless you are doing that stuff, that very rare people do, not everyone do that, but most of the cases there will be codes already present inside the company. Okay, your job will be to optimize those codes. Okay, optimize the current models, check the current models how they are going, those kind of things. Okay, now for that you will be given a code that you have never seen. Okay, there comes your ability to see a novel code at once, at fresh. Basically, when you see a new code at once, are you able to understand all that very quickly, and are you able to fix that very quickly? That comes through your your ability of coding, right? Trust me, ChatGPT I have used extensively. ChatGPT for advanced coding problems has an accuracy of only 10 to 15%, max to max, not more than this. I have seen that. Okay, and a lot of you can search Google as well. So with GPT model 5 and 6, which will come in future, of course this number will come increase. But to be honest, expecting an 80% accuracy, I don't see that happening in at least next 5 years. Okay, so if you have to become a data analyst in next 5 years, right now you have to learn coding. There is no other way, and this is where most of the people are not focusing on. So I really congratulate you all that you decided to come to take the step. But these three are the major reasons. First of all is interview. Okay, as I mentioned, they are asked extensively. Second, type of work which is present in company, right, which I just spoke. And the third is advancement of AI, right? So the expectation, the fake things that people are putting there, it's not uh, it's okay. You can put few projects, like everyone fakes few project in their resume. No one is there who has never faked. I have faked in my resume some at times, but I know things, right? Similarly, if you are faking like up to 10-15%, it's fine. If you are faking, that's totally, but provided you can justify it, right? Because at times in companies you work, for example, for 6-7 months, but you see how to write this project in a very smooth way. There you have to tweak few things. That is not wrong. But if you don't know the knowledge, if you don't possess the knowledge, then that is something which is going to haunt you. Okay, so these are the three reasons why DSA is required. I hope this explanation is clear, that what is DSA and why DSA is required, right? This is very much important. If you still have any question, you can reach out to me or you can discuss, but I hope I have given solid explanations or enough explanations so that it's clear in your mind. Okay, now we will move towards the last part of this video, that how this course is going to help you and what will be the format of this particular course. Okay, structure, syllabus, we will see. I have told already, we'll be covering extensively all the algorithms, but I'm going to talk about how we are going to ensure that, and how you can make the best from this particular, how can you make the best from this particular course. Okay, so let's move towards that part. So now let us discuss the most important part of this particular video, that is how to do this course. Okay, you have just told that DS is important, why it is required, I understood. But tell me, how are you going to help me in that? Okay, because it's not that this is the only course in DSA, right? So how is it exactly going to help me? So I will tell you this thing. Your success through this course depends upon two things. First is me, second is you, and the percentage, I only control 30% of that. 70% is totally up to you. Okay, and now I have experience in last like 4 months. I have taken multiple batches. Okay, for example, I took a SQL batch earlier, I took a Python batch earlier. Okay, I'll tell you, I'm telling you the numbers. I remember the numbers upfront. In SQL batch, 98 people joined. Okay, and out of 98, eventually till the end, only 15 people survived or they actually solved things. Okay, this was the number. In the Python batch that I started in July, on July 10th, 420 people registered at the start, but the people who actually completed assignments, everything completely, they are around only on time. They are 18 to 20 only. Okay, so if you see the ratio, I mean 400, so 4 into, so approximately 4 to 5% people completed this. Okay, and only 15% people completed this ratio was very less. So I do not take the responsibility of you if you are not, if you are lying outside of this particular percentage. And why I'm saying this is that conceptually you can find everything online. You don't need me for your concepts. Okay, of course, you want that explanation should be smooth, right? Few things are like in videos things are not explained properly. Those things I will take care. So that's what my role is, explaining the things in the most interactive and the most easy way so that you actually understand. So you understood it that time, but do you actually follow that in practice? That thing covers the important part, right? For example, let's say we are starting this batch in September. Okay, you might remember something till October, but do you remember it in January? Because not everyone is having their interview in November or October. What if you have an interview next year, March? Okay, and will you remember all this by that time? Okay, now that is the main question. What if you did the course now and you forgot everything? Then in March, when your interview comes, and you will think, oh my God, I don't know DSA, the course that I did earlier, I couldn't understand, like blah, 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 blah. Right? The problem was not the course or something. Problem was that you didn't understand or you didn't practice properly. And that is the reason you don't remember that for the long run. So now why I'm saying this is that the most efficient way to learn coding is that you need to give yourself at least 4 to 5 months of time of regular coding. Okay, it's not possible that you will, of course, by the end of these 2 months, the first 2 months will be your 90% of the learning. Okay, so these 2 months which we are going to spend together, learning wise, even 100% I will take guarantee that I'll cover everything that you need to know. But retaining, because what will happen after October, you will start losing things, like forgetting things which you are not doing regularly. So the retention part is something that depends upon two things: that how regularly you practice after this course is completed, right? So after, and second thing is during this course, how many problems you have really solved. So what I mean by really solved is that when I give a question, right? When I give a question, so what happens? A lot of people, when they attempt the question once and then they send me screenshots, message, oh Sadhvik, I'm not able to solve this. Okay, and if you will be having this particular approach that you just attempted the question for 10 minutes, okay, or 15 minutes, and you just got frustrated and you just looked at the solution. If you're going to do that, then for sure you will forget. Okay, now the coding is not really easy. That's why a lot of people avoid it. And if you have to really master it, you need to know that you will not learn things first. Like I remember when I was preparing for myself, like I would have solved, I mean, spent in my first 60% of the time that I spent was in this exploration only, that somehow I have to figure solution on my own. Okay, I'm not saying that don't look at the solutions, but whatever questions I am giving, you have to ensure that you are, unless you are not able to solve, you're not giving up for a good amount. I'm not putting any time limit here, but at least give 1 hour of thought to each question initially. If you are not able to solve, if you are able to solve, it's fine, right? But if you're not able to solve, don't give up before 1 hour. Okay, don't give up. Explore the brain cells. Your brain cells will get open while you think. And similarly, so how this thing will go exactly, that for example, this question came, right? Question one came, you are not able to solve. Okay, so for example, you spent 50 minutes and you were not able to solve. Then you looked at the solution. Okay, next time, question two, you still spent 45 minutes and you were not able to solve, and you still looked at the solution. Okay, but eventually what will happen, there will come a time, I'm not sure which day, there will be a day, okay, when I mean, you are not able to solve, we are not able to solve. When there will be a time when there will be QN, and which you could not solve at this time, you might end up spending 30 minutes, but you will be able to solve it. Okay, so we have to reach through first, like solve things. If you're not able to solve, see the solution and build that approach in your mind, then try to spend more time solving the question without looking at the solution. That's what the cycle that you need to repeat continuous for next 8-10 weeks, right? And then you will actually learn it. So this is what I will code now. The how we are going to structure this course I have told already, but still I'm going to explain it once again so that those who have missed that, they understand. So every Monday, okay, and every Monday and every Thursday, I will be posting one video of this course. Okay, one video on Monday and one video on Thursday. Along with these, there will be assignment, quiz, coding test every week. Okay, so frequency will vary, not vary. I mean, every week there will be something like this, and there will be lot. We are targeting around 250 questions to solve in this batch. Okay, so I mean, if you divide this by 10 weeks, it means 25 questions per week approximately you have to solve. Okay, so this much of practice is required, and we will be doing that. Don't worry about that. So now, based on your attempts and how you actually do things, you will be given a ranking, and the ranking will be based upon 3 factors. First of all, it will be based upon your accuracy. Of course, if you're solving things, if you're solving it correctly, you will be getting more points than others. Second, but more than this, what matters more to me is discipline. For example, if you are submitting assignments, even if you're not able to solve, just mention that I tried to solve it, but I was not able to solve it. Okay, that matters more to me. Okay, a regular discipline is something that will matter most. And third, I'll be giving few bonus questions or challenge questions. Those who complete that without looking into ChatGPT or something, okay, they will have to they will be getting bonus points. Okay, based on these 3 criteria, the ranking, every week a leaderboard will be shared with you that this person or this group is having these many points. Okay, if you are in a group, make sure all your group members are solving the questions, otherwise your group marks will reduce, and if you're individual, you are responsible for your marks. Okay, so this is what we are going to follow in the coming weeks, and this is how I've structured, and this method is for sure it's going to give you benefit. The only constraint is that you practice every week. Okay, and second thing is you practice honestly. Right, and if you're doing these 2 things, I'm dead sure that by end of October you'll be in a very, very sweet spot. Okay, so with this I will end the lecture 1 now. I think enough of the introduction, motivation, whatever is required. From the next video we will start with time complexity, but before moving ahead, please set your mind right. You all have taken a good step that you enroll for this course. I'm not saying that just because I'm launching this course, but this is a step that is required, and you will realize it 5 months down the line when you will crack an interview because of this particular batch, right? Just make sure you're consistent, you're true to yourself, and this is a marathon. This is 2 months. So don't think that if you are attempting good things in first week, and no, I want your consistent. Solve limited question, but solve consistently. That's what matters, because you have to stay alive till October end. Okay, so with this, thanks a lot for watching this video. Have a good day, and we'll come up with the lecture 2 of the series on time complexity very soon on Thursday. And this video has no assignment, but this is just to give you an introduction. But from Thursday onwards we will start assignments. And remember, I forgot to tell one thing: on weekends we will have a doubt session as well. Okay, on weekends we'll be doing doubt session. It will be a live class, so whoever can join that, please join that, and you'll be given the recordings as well. So that's again, thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video.